Hey, y'all, what's going on? Facts Over Feelings is back. What you laughing at, man?
She didn't give us no time.
She was no time to prepare. We just came and said, hey, y'all, 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. Let's go into it then.
Look, this is what I'll be messy because you was already late. Look.
Okay, so here we go again. I was late this time.
Mama, it was him.
Fond du Lac traffic was horrible. I don't live far from here, so I'm thinking, okay, I guesstimated that I would be able to, skate right on through, but no, that ain't happened. But I'm here. We're here. We're getting ready to do this thing. As we know what the topic is, we're going to do a little pivot. Before we go into the topic of discussion, I do want to make sure that we highlight this is June, and this is Men's Mental Awareness Month. And even though I feel that it shouldn't be just June, it should be every single month and every single day. That's a very precarious way to be if your mental health is not straight.
How selfish of you, sir.
Right. So we have to make sure that we're always highlighting that, and that is very important to make sure that you're straight. I do want to give out the number to the Mental Health Emergency Center that's operated through Milwaukee County. In case you are in a mental health crisis or an emergency, that number is 414-257-7222. Again, that number, and this is the mental health emergency 24-hour crisis number that is operated through Milwaukee County. That is 414-257-7222. This is a Monday through, 24 hours. So no, it's not just through the week. It's every day. So make sure if you're having some issues, reach out and get help. There's nothing wrong with getting help. There's nothing wrong with saying I need help. So just want to highlight that. So our topic today is something that has come up a few times, and we're just going to lay it out there and have some discussions. Please, folks, make sure you are asking some questions in the comments because we want to have a lively back and forth here. So the question of the evening is going to be, let me rewind. The topic today is look what y'all have done. And I think you should know who we're talking about. And that's this orange Dorito pumpkin taco.
I like tacos.
You like taco?
I like tacos.
You like taco?
Can we not?
What? Yeah. Trump always chickens out taco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
that's disrespectful to taco.
You ain't lying, seriously. But we want to highlight this because I really want folks to give some perspectives as to how did we get back here. And you can't pay me to believe had Vice President Kamala Harris ascended to the presidency that we would be dealing with any of this craziness that we're dealing with right now. You can't pay me to believe she would have, on her first day, with an executive order, did away with DEI practices in this country.
Which also hurt a lot of white people.
Correct. You can't pay me to believe that on President Harris's first day in office, with an executive order, she would have rolled back anti-discrimination laws that have been in place since the 60s. Since the 60s, y'all. This man, with a stroke of a pen, has rolled those regulations back on this government. Now it's okay for you to do whatever. As the saying goes, as white as right. And that's the way they are wanting this country to go. You can't pay me to believe had President Harris ascended the presidency, we would be where we're at right now. And that was because of lack of voting. And the reason is because she was Black and she was a woman.
I don't know.
I heard that. That's some of the things I heard. But that's why I got you on tonight, Mr. Artemis. because I would love to hear your perspective on, was Vice President Kamala Harris a good enough candidate?
I like how you phrase that. Good
Mhm.
enough.
Yeah, was she good enough? Because I won't always be biased because I'm what you call a moderate liberal.
Mm-hmm.
My politics are right in the middle. I don't like a whole lot of the identity stuff that the Democratic Party kind of goes after and makes it its banner. So I think a lot of times when you do that, you get away from the stuff that really, really, really matters with folks.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. But I said we're here to talk about it.
All right.
So what you think?
Before we hit the topic on the head, we gotta backtrack and go over some physics.
Facts over feelings.
So, honestly, I, though disappointed, am not surprised by the election results. Not one bit.
Not one bit.
Not one bit.
Okay.
We sat and watched Joe Biden deteriorate in front of our eyes. And the Democratic Party continued to lie to its supporters, to its people, all the while his cabinet was well aware of his actual mental state. They just released that he is dealing with mental health. They didn't specify what it was, but it looks like early set dementia
And cancer. Which most likely he probably had while he was in office. Most likely.
There you
I
go.
want to say yeah.
So there was a lot that they lie about dealing with their bill of health. It's like, oh, he had a clean bill of health, and we sitting there watching this dude. Everybody else is engaged or something. He just grapes. Like, he wasn't present.
Do you not think that Trump is going through that currently?
I think he started off like that. What do you mean?
Oh, okay, good. No. I just wanted to know if he's going to touch on that. Yeah, I agree. They're too old. They're just too old.
Oh, absolutely. So here's the thing. Do I think that he is more cognitively present than Joe Biden was? Yes. Do I think he has more intelligence? No. Do I think he is a fantastic businessman in the sense of prolonging things and doing his art of the deal? Yes. Do I think it works? No.
Because how do you bankrupt a casino? Like, you got to be horrible to bankrupt a casino. I'm just saying.
Bankrupt a casino, 7 failed businesses. Was it 3 failed marriages? 3 or 4 failed marriages?
Yeah, because they call her the third lady. So
man. Children we don't know about. A school that went up in flames. Like,
it can go, we can be all night.
Like, quite seriously.
Talking about his failures.
So, and again, I wholeheartedly believe that had the Democratic Party gone about it the proper way, which was to make Joe Biden concede with enough time to properly install Kamala Harris as a presidential candidate, there would have been a lot less pushback. I got a question. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you like the idea of being force-fed?
No.
So why would you be okay with being force-fed a candidate?
I don't like the idea, honestly. But
wait,
see,
which one? You talking about Kamala?
I'm talking about Kamala.
But see, we got to look at.
Go ahead.
You got to look in perspective to that. Cause I see where you're going with it. We got to look at this. When you have a campaign, you are voting for whoever your party is, whatever person is running on top of the ticket. You're voting for that top person, and then their running mate. So essentially, you're voting for both of them. Mm-hmm. And what happens, that's why you have a running mate, because in case, as we've seen, the headliner steps down, where that running mate is the person that's going to take the lead at that point. Mm-hmm. That's just how it's designed. That's why they didn't do the convention and go and do, the open convention, I should say, and do all that, because that's just how it's made to be. Could they have done the open convention? Yes. Did they want to do all of that? No. I'm going to tell you why. Because they were trying to hurry up and mount this campaign, because the Republicans were ready to go.
So here we go. Again, talking about facts. That is not true.
What's not true?
They did not withhold having that open convention and doing the proper election because they wanted to shoe in Kamala. They thought that people had more sense than they did. And so they literally had Biden. There's a gentleman, I wish I could remember his name. He was on Biden, he was in Biden's cabinet. He stepped down because the cabinet was actually running the White House for the last year and a half that Biden was in office.
So that came from a cabinet member?
That came from a cabinet member, and he wrote a book about it. I was listening to it on NPR radio 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And he said there were things that the cabinet was putting into motion that Biden had no idea about.
So no briefings, no nothing.
No briefings, no nothings. And so they thought it was the best decision to have him still look like an upstanding and well put together figurehead, as opposed to having him concede in weakness in the most powerful position in the world because of appearances. Again, trying to play on the idiocy of American people blew up in their face.
Okay, I can see that.
So when I was talking about the force feeding thing, if you take away somebody's free will of choice, they're going to rebel.
I mean, we have it here in our local elections. And no shout out to Mayor. I like Cavalier Johnson. I've met him a couple of times. Nice brother.
Yeah.
But people were saying the same thing about his election. It's like he was Tom Barrett's pick from the time Tom Barrett said he was no longer going to be mayor anymore. And how the city functions is that the mayor steps down, the president of the common council becomes the acting mayor.
Yes.
Boom. And then they had election. Boom. They put all the war chests behind him. Boom. He got in there. Boom. But a lot of people were saying, well, no, y'all didn't give us no choice in the matter. It was like you kind of had to vote for him because who was the opposite person?
I don't remember what the guy's name was. It was quite frankly immaterial in the grand scheme of things because nobody knew about him. Right. And that goes back to my point. How much did people actually know about Kamala Harris?
You know about what you want to know about her because all you have to do is Google search, bro.
You are asking too much of people. Most people get their stuff based off of immediate visuals or auditory responses. Okay. So if it's on the radio or if it's on TV or if it's coming across their news feed, they hear it, they see it, they take it in, they digest it. It becomes their truth. It becomes the only knowledge that they rely on and that they will go toe to toe for without fact checking anything. I can guarantee you that with all of the money that Kamala Harris got, there was no way she was going to be able to outdo Trump simply because of who he was tied to. He was literally everywhere, as well as the fact that he was already a past president. Everybody already knew what he wanted, stood for, everything else. But here's the worst part about it is everybody knew that he was a liar and still chose him. Yeah. And I won't even say everybody because numbers show, and this is approximate, there were two numbers, 34.9% or 36.7% of the American populace did not vote.
How much is it?
34.9 or 36.7 is between the two of them. And that was based off of the Associated Press numbers pool. And it was another with the tallies for something. I forgot what it was called. But you can Google those numbers and you can look it up. I might be off by like a fraction of a percent. But that was it. Like, that's almost half of the population. Like, I mean, you look at it, it's easily 30% of the population that didn't vote.
I mean, yeah, that has a very big sway in a close election like we.
There you go. Had. And that was it. It's not like he won by this astronomical margin. No, he didn't. No. Unfortunately, a lot of black men stood behind him. And I wholeheartedly, again, go with the fact that it was due to a lack of knowledge and the taking of choice.
But everything, you said it was a lack of knowledge. Mm-hmm. But their playbook was put in our faces like millions of times. Like they were so so confident with it that they posted a whole playbook, literally Project 2025. They posted a whole playbook for you to.
But what did the Democrats do to combat that?
They talked about it.
Okay.
They posted it.
Okay. You think people's gonna sit there and read
They
the 700
did
pages?
segments on it on different talk shows.
Yep. You again are asking people to read.
True.
I'm not even trying to be funny about it.
Yeah.
Our expectations of the vast majority is far higher than what it should be. And I can base that solely off of America's reading scores.
So if not even reading, what about just watching and listening to what he was saying?
Comprehension.
Because he said what he was going to do too. Like,
absolutely. But
they wasn't shy about it.
Here's the thing. When you consider yourself a part of something, even though you're not, you think it benefits you until it doesn't.
This MAGA movement.
So that the MAGA movement is not for the rural whites. It's not for the urban whites. It's not for the farmer whites. It is for the ridiculously rich and wealthy whites. It's for the affluent whites.
That's true.
So the ones who he got were the ones who were undereducated, thinking that they were part of all of this, and they weren't.
Yeah.
And then you have the ones that are in between that, however it flipped, it wasn't really going to affect them in a great way.
And you know what's the sad part about that too is Christmas time me and my family drove through Tennessee and drove to North Carolina to see my sister. Going through these mountains, real rural areas. Like it looked like something off of, you might have seen the movie Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
It literally, like the houses look like something off of that. And you're going through these mountains. You're going through these cities and sad part about it too, the more sad part about it was during that time, a hurricane had come through and devastated a lot of the area around there. So a lot of roads was cut off. You can see the damage and things. We riding through and I'm noticing all these Trump signs in these houses and people are living in them, and you would not think, these houses are habitable. Man, the con is for real.
Yes.
If you can con somebody that's living in that kind of austerity, that I'm a billionaire and I'm going to make your life better by these policies, which I'm really screwing you behind, but okay. And you go for it, knowing, if you just hear what he says, knowing this is not going to benefit me.
But that's the thing.
That's the sad part.
They don't know.
Even with him telling you, even the actions. People talking about the farmers. Those are your farmers and things of that nature. He's screwing them over.
But in their mind, that has nothing to do with me. FEMA, let's get rid of it. That has nothing to do with me. Medicare, Medicaid, that has nothing to do with me.
He just had all the right prompts. Like even having the what was her name? It started with an M. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor.
No. The black lady.
That's a whole thing.
Oh, shoot. What is that
it was like Michelle something.
So yeah.
Like having her, she just completely disappeared.
Who?
She ought to be shamed.
Which one?
The one that remember that was she's in Chick-fil-A or something. The one that was hugging him.
No, she's not a singer. She's
not a singer. No.
It was found out she was a paid Trump. She was a paid Trump.
They said she were paid.
Yeah.
She ought to be shamed.
She staged all of that. Yeah, the girl that whenever the Chick-fil-A, and mind you, let's talk about that. So the only thing that black folks going around to eat is chicken. But okay, you're gonna go into Chick-fil-A. Okay, I got you. Yeah, okay, we're gonna set that up.
He did get him.
He did.
I mean, just telling them all the lies.
But like that, yeah.
Said things they wanted to hear.
Yes,
but she was really up there. Like she was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was doing her job.
She got her check and went about her business. It was about money.
Even the Mexican lady.
Man.
Oh.
And then all the people vote for Trump.
What was that song?
Yeah, go ahead.
Legit created a whole song, and half your family got deported like 2 weeks later. Like, come on.
Yeah, and then that is a sad thing. That is a sad thing.
We could literally go on and on talking about the lies that he told. The problem is, and I hate to say it like this, Kamala's voice was not louder than his.
Yeah, he's doing it now. He takes up all the oxygen in the room. I mean, he does it now.
I mean,
day is
and on the
something.
bots, because I'm on TikTok, I still watch all that stuff. So there are a billion bots. Like you wouldn't know what was going on. There are a billion bots. So they've really gotten people to believe like, oh, it's a bunch of us feel this way.
Yeah,
and then
it's not. It's not.
Tonight, I don't know what part y'all gonna get into this piece about, but like so many black men and women having a problem with the black woman, and I feel like there was some misdirected anger towards her.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Can we go?
Go ahead, do y'all
go there?
Let's do it. And I really do think it was because
I was waiting for that.
You had a woman that was one of the most qualified candidates we've had.
Absolutely.
In a while.
Aside from Hillary Clinton. I'm gonna have to give her due. He was a former first lady, he was U.S. Senator, he was a Secretary of State.
I got my issues with him.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm talking about the qualifications. You done been in government. You know government like the back of your hand.
Okay.
Fair.
You know, you get in there, you know what you're doing.
We'll ride with you on that.
Yeah, you know, at least you would have been competent.
Absolutely.
And then with her being Secretary of State, you got experience in foreign relations. So you know all of that. You've been a senator, you briefings, you get all of that.
Absolutely.
Ooh, got you. All right. Even her time as first lady. I do want to ask what your issue is with Hillary, but we're going to talk about that. Yeah, so now you have Vice President Kamala Harris. You have her as what she was the county. What's her first?
She's done a ton.
She's done a ton.
You can just fast forward.
They know government.
But is she really black though?
She's so black.
I love that narrative. And we just had this argument in the barbershop not too long ago about her.
No. I know that.
Right.
I play devil's advocate where that is the question which superseded everything else.
Yeah. Right. So you had
Is she really black though? Is she pandering? You wore the wrong kind of Timbs when you went to New York.
Yeah, then
like and they was on her about that.
The wrong kind of Tim. She a lady at the end of the day. Let's be clear.
Listen, and my thing is, they was like they needed to be double sold. Like, bro, chill out.
Yeah,
they literally went in on black men went in on her about that.
We looking past her qualifications. You was the second most powerful person in the country as vice president. You was a senator. You was attorney general before that, and then before you got degrees out the wazoo, and we look at him.
Yes, because he
white. He
says what he says with all determination, disregarding what anybody else feels about it, right or wrong.
True.
He's straight shooter, bullets bending like wanted, but he a straight shooter.
Question. So they say most black women are like that, right?
Like what?
Straight shooters. No blink. So why can you look at a white man and get the straight shooter and not feel like he trying to control me? He trying to, oppression. Why didn't you feel any of that?
Because black women are too emotional.
He's running the entire country on emotion.
Listen, black women are too emotional. Black women are too unstable. Black women are too egotistical. Black women have have a chip on their I'm literally naming Trump.
Yes,
I am listing I'm naming
Clear
Trump without dropping the name.
Absolutely.
Which is insane.
Crazy.
Back to your other point when you were talking about the strong dedication to this narrative that black men don't like black women and vice versa. I have been a huge advocate against that. Like for as long as I can, because I'm like, why? What is this actually about?
Right. I think that's a narrative that they just putting out there. I don't think it's real.
No, absolutely. Because if you look at it, I got my issues that you won't be able to understand because you are not a black man. You have your issues that I won't understand because you are a black woman, and that is not what I am. That is not what you are. However, you talking to me about it, I can understand how you feel about it because I feel the same way about my situation.
Yeah.
So our common ground is the emotional state our situations put us in. Statistically, black men are married to black women at a higher rate. Statistically. But we don't talk about that. Statistically, black men have babies by black women who are their wives higher than not. Statistically. However, what social media is telling you is I don't like you because you're a black woman and you don't like me because I'm a black man. Yeah. And so now when the only option left to us is a black woman, 41% of the black men in America voted against the black woman. You can't tell me that ain't purpose by design.
And I want to say, even if they did not vote, they discouraged others from voting.
Oh yeah,
because it was disheartening to watch them. Oh, well, I'm not voting. Well, why are you spending so much time talking about Kamala and not Trump? Why are you doing that?
Boom.
Or I voted for Kamala, but you sent a bunch of others off. Mm-hmm. You probably voted, so you say, but that was just to save face.
We had the same exact conversation I was telling you in the barbershop not too long ago. A brother was in there saying something where he says, well, I said, well, we were all asking, okay, so what is it about the Democratic platform that you don't like? He says, well, I don't like that y'all trying to do student loan repayment. What? Well, what's the problem with that? He said, well, because mind you, he didn't go to school. He didn't go to college.
I'll kick rocks. Take my bills away.
Right? Like, he didn't go to college. I said, well, take my loans away, bro. So that's a problem for you, bro. He was like, yeah, and then and then he went into Kamala Harris, bro. She ain't even black. I said, bro, what does that matter though?
It matters a lot.
And they had a picture out there, her putting hot sauce on some greens. I'm like, bro, that picture was old.
Trump is absolutely not black. So now what?
but here's the man. Look,
saying that she was pandering to black people, and that's what people have issue with. I didn't see the pandering.
I didn't see the pattern either. I think even like the whole she's talking like this over here.
I said, bro, that's called.
Do we not all do that?
It's called coach.
That's called.
Do we not all do that?
I told her, I said, bro, the way I'm talking to you right now is not the way I'm gonna talk when I get to work tomorrow.
At a board meeting,
in one of my conference meetings that I'm having with a provider. I'm not gonna be talking like this to you. Really?
We have an issue with putting people on pedestals.
Yeah.
As black people.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. None of those things that Buddy in the barbershop named, and that's what his name gonna be going forward.
Buddy in the
barbershop. None of the things that he named are of consequence.
None.
They are stupidly irrelevant.
Oh wait, I want one more thing.
Go ahead.
He also said that she said she wasn't gonna do nothing for black people specifically.
No, she didn't.
I said,
anyway.
Brother, that is not what she said.
She said, I'm not going to just do everything just for only black people is what was said.
She's running for the presidency of America.
Much like they thought was going to happen with President Obama.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was doing everything for black people. And then come to find out, he didn't do stuff just for black people.
Oh, he did it for everybody.
I mean, because if they did, they would target them. They can't do that. Absolutely. And black people make that not be able to happen.
There you go.
Look how you're a clown.
Come on, literally, the moment we get any amount of power and we have no education on how to utilize that, it becomes chaotic.
Yep.
They were like, the other countries won't respect Kamala. What is happening now?
Right. They laughing at that fool. Like the man, again, I love NPR radio. Shout out to them because I swear.
NPR be on something.
No, like so.
They good.
There was a dignitary who was talking about the nuclear deal with Iran, right? The Iranian people are laughing at Trump and they don't take him seriously.
No.
Like the whole taco analogy was just so disrespectful because tacos are so good. Can we come up with something better than that? Look.
You keep it up, you ain't gonna be able to get a authentic taco from them. They're gonna be out here. He taking them everywhere. Man. They are. I heard today. I watched Midas Touch.
You watch who?
Midas Touch.
Oh yeah.
They are going into these foster homes and getting the children.
Yeah.
Snatching them out literally.
Yep.
There was a guy on TikTok. He was just crying. He was crying so bad because his job was close to the school, to one of the Latino schools.
Wow.
And they were going in there for the graduation.
And people scared.
Taking them out.
Do anything.
I mean, they was chanting for him. They voted for that. Right. They chanted for that.
Thank you. That right there. They voted for him. The highest Hispanic voting turnout in the history of the United States. Put that fool back in office. Again, we're talking about a lack of knowledge, not understanding what it is they were actually voting for, not who, what they were voting
for.
Nah,
I got, I'm with you on there.
They didn't. Yeah. Trump talks a fantastic game, and he talks so much that you do have to have a level of intelligence to deduce the nonsense that's coming out of his mouth. Otherwise, it's just gonna sound good, and you don't even realize. Not even 2 seconds ago, he contradicted what he just said.
Yes,
and I think that a lot of people thought that he was being racist, and they enjoyed it, and they heard the plan, but they didn't understand the execution.
There you go.
I mean, you had him at the convention when he had that comedian up there talking about Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Like, dang.
I mean, completely
no
told
pushback,
y'all it wasn't
no
sweet.
nothing.
But why would it, man? Listen, again, y'all give people too much credit. I love y'all for y'all big heart. I really do. I really do. But y'all give people too much credit. What Trump did was allow people to be them true, authentic selves.
Yes.
I
believe
I'm glad though, because now we get
through.
to see. I don't think that this is going to play out the remainder of the year, especially with he and Elon breaking up.
I think that was some bull crap.
No, I don't. In Rockland, New York.
Oh no,
they're counting the ballots again.
I did see that. I saw a TikTok about a guy. He was on the board or something there and saying that the Democrats in a certain area got this many votes, but then she only had one.
There was someone that she had zero.
Yeah,
there was someone else on the ballot, and they're counting the votes because she have affidavits from people saying, "No, I voted for you."
Oh yeah,
and then it's not adding up. So let's just say she only got 5 votes, and there was 9 people said, "I voted for you. I have an a sworn affidavit. I voted for you."
Yep. So
that'd be something.
Elon will tell in a couple weeks.
I was gonna say, because Elon is getting fed up. Elon did what he did because it was a power play. Anybody who's ever seen or done business with anybody, if you are in the position, and Elon flat out said it in a press conference, I paid the most money to you.
Oh yeah, $200 million.
He said he told Trump, I paid the most money to you.
He did.
To get you in office.
He did.
He said I got you there. Yeah, I'm the only reason you won.
Yeah.
And then even that whole, remember on Joe Rogan when he knew 3 hours in advance about the final number.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was all he did, all of that.
Absolutely.
He's going to tell. And then he can just flee back to South Africa though. That's the part he don't understand.
Take his billions and be gone.
And be gone.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he got evidence of everything. I'm sure he has evidence of everything he's done.
He created an IT department that got into everybody's personal business. You don't think he didn't backlog that or create files, like copies of those files, or take the master files and just put the copies out there for everybody else?
We're gonna have to do him like Bin Laden. Get rid of him.
No, like on some real stuff.
Yeah, after it's all said and done, we will have to get rid of him.
But that man is, I don't want to say he's too smart. He is too smart for his own good. However, because of the level of spectrum that he is on, he can't ration out certain things.
Oh, so you talking about Elon getting a muskrat?
Yeah. So like if something is like directly in Elon's face and he doesn't understand it, he gonna short circuit. So that's his downfall.
Well, he'll overdose soon.
Oh,
he's gonna overdose.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
They're setting that up for the play already.
I can see that
because they've been talking about it too much. He's gonna overdose, and then Trump is gonna mysteriously go away as well. All of them are going to disappear somehow.
But here's the thing: if you follow the chain of command, you don't want any of the next people who Trump has put in line,
which is JD.
No, I don't think JD's gonna make it either. That's why he's so quiet. He's trying to play it cool. They know.
Well, of course
they know. They're done. They know.
Listen, once Project 2025 goes into full effect, ultimately, the government will not be what we once knew it to be, because all of those will be rewritten. And I'm grossly disappointed in Congress for not having enough backbone and spine to actually fight against that, because Trump has superseded his authority so much to where a lot of I think only 12 executive orders have actually gone into play because the rest of them are illegal. Mm-hmm. They literally said that, like, they're just sitting because it's like, yeah, you signed that. But again, we go back to what people hear and Trump did this. You got this dude who appears to be untouchable and not afraid to go against the very fabric of our nation, go against the Constitution that even allows him to sit where he is. He's not afraid to break the law on it.
But honestly, if you look at it from, let's just say, because I'm in criminal justice, you look at it from a criminal justice standpoint, the man had 91 felonies.
Mm-hmm.
91.
And the only reason why he even got acquitted was because he ended up getting elected president.
Right. 91 felonies, and you ain't have to answer for one, as they say.
but you can sit in the highest office. I'm just saying. And
honestly,
one of the arguments I had with some of the dudes who didn't vote or was talking down on Kamala, I said, how many felonies she got? Well, she put black people in prison. I said,
did not.
I said, what did they do?
And why did she say that? What's her name? Tulsi. Why did she say that? That was a whole lot. Tulsi
Gabbard?
Yeah, she started that.
Yeah.
They were running.
I was wondering where that came from.
They were running against each other in an election, and she made that up.
Yep.
Completely made that up.
Lie.
And her and I forgot the name of the project she started in California. It's a program.
Yes, it is. That's what it was. It was a program.
Yeah, it was a program that she started that helped get folks out of prison.
Absolutely.
And if you were a low level offense or not a violent offender,
stuff was expunged.
It was expunged, and they got you schooling and job. It was a whole program, and I forgot the name of it. But yeah, so I'm like,
she's also a part of when they started to legalize the marijuana, because the marijuana cases, there were her and a couple others, but the marijuana cases, it was just so many. And that's crazy that Texas now has it back illegal. Like, y'all did that to yourselves. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it goes back to a lack of knowledge. And unfortunately, I mean, you can look at the statistics. Black women are generally more collegiately educated than black men.
Yes, I would say that. Yeah.
And because of that, and hell, I'll even say in the industry that I work in, some of the things that I see, I just be like, that is interesting. That's how I see it. That is interesting. Listening to some of the conversations, I understand better that they don't understand any better. And because of that, it's like, I can't even fault you for where you are, because you truly are ignorant.
In the truest sense of the word.
In the truest sense of the word, you truly are ignorant. And the only thing I can do for you at that moment is just pity you, because you didn't know any better. It's almost like dealing with a child. You got in so deep and you really didn't know any better. People were trying to tell you, but because it didn't register until you now sitting in it with no medical benefits.
And your grandma would have got hers snatched, and your mama would have got hers snatched.
Oh,
that was dependent on it.
I was a part of the DEI. I was a part of it. That DEI was really for white women. Let's just be real about it.
Yeah, because it benefited.
I feel it benefited. It also benefited people that were getting out of prison. So
of course,
because companies got tax breaks for hiring them, and they didn't understand that there are going to be a lot of black men, that when it's time for those reviews and things like that,
it's already happening.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. What schedule changes?
Schedule changes. Last minute.
So it's already starting now.
It is. Like I've seen it and heard it from several different people. One of my guys, real close to, his boss got let go. It was only him and his boss were only two black people that were there. His boss got let go, and he was the only one. And he said they've been looking for a reason to get rid of me. He said, and as soon as I didn't have any support, they let me go. And I was like, why don't you go for wrongful termination? He said, because I ain't got lawyer money like that. I said, that's real. He was one situation, how they are going around downsizing, how talking about schedule changes and not actually telling them like that it changed, and they might be on their last strike, and with attendance, it's non-negotiable. Yeah. Like if you get to your last strike on attendance, you gone. And it's your responsibility to know your schedule. That is the HR response to anybody who says anything about knowing they didn't work or didn't know that they worked. You are responsible for knowing your schedule. And it's really messed up. That's crazy. Bible even says my people perish from a lack of knowledge. Well, we literally took our own demise in our own hands simply because we just didn't know. Because we believed the hype, because we believed the things that were being told to us, because we believed that this grandiose picture that was being painted was better than what the reality was. And in that, we didn't give any breathing room to look and see. It was like, maybe this is too good to be true.
Yeah.
And those of us with sense to ask that or to say that and then look deeper. One, we were never taken in to begin with, but we eventually, I will admit it, I got exhausted trying to convince people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can only talk to stupid so long before you yourself become stupid or feel stupid.
Hello.
So let me ask you this, bro. Do you, because we made a little thing earlier, do you think if she had more time to be the front runner candidate and get her message out there, like if Biden had just said,
no,
once this election cycle comes up, I'm not running, and then had her go through the,
No, I don't. I still don't think that people would have voted for her. I think what the Democratic Party would have done was put somebody else in the position.
Had he been earlier with
had Biden
stepped down earlier,
like bowed out like he should have done 2 years into his presidency, second term, he should have just, I really don't think that this country, I don't even say I don't think, I know that this country was not ready for a black woman to sit in that office. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about that. How do I know? Because the only thing Trump did was tell people it was okay to be you. He didn't change how they were. He said it's okay to be you. We know how people get down. We see it every single day. Every single day.
True.
We are not blind to the stuff that's in front of us. People can pretend to be that, but I can't name one black person that is extremely comfortable with them being the only one in the room of 10 or more white people, and they are perfectly comfortable.
No, always on pins and needles. Always.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Always.
And the fact that our people are so ignorant. And and the fact that our people are so, she wasn't gonna be able to do this. It's the fact of us being able, make it norm for us to be at these tables.
Right.
Do that.
How do y'all know what she wasn't gonna be able to do?
It doesn't. It don't. None of that matter. Just make it a norm so we can be at these tables, so we can possibly get one of y'all at these tables too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why would you do that?
Like, do you think that she would have hosted South African president and carried on like that, like he did, putting up that fake video about white South Africans being subjected to made up genocide, which was a lie.
The South African president came back and was like,
all of that's a lie.
What? Or the way him and Junior Varsity Vance got together with Zelensky from Ukraine when he visited. The way they clown him. Well, you're not wearing a suit. Like, if you paid attention to what the man said when they went into war, he was not going to wear a suit. He was going to wear his army fatigues until that country got out of the war. That's why you see him. He doesn't wear suits anymore. Just all that clowning stuff.
He definitely went into fatigues and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
He was
like, he said it. He said, I'm not wearing no more. He said costumes, what he called it.
Yep.
Until my country is free. And then you lie and say Ukraine invaded Russia.
Man.
Like, the world knows and the world saw.
But it's
Russia
still so many of them.
throwing bombs.
But does it?
Ukraine first.
But does it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm man, listen again, and I done said it now 4 times. Y'all give people way too much credit.
Yeah, I mean, if you only getting your news from 5-second TikToks and YouTube, I guess.
And
Fox News.
And Fox.
And that's where most people are getting their news
That's
from.
true.
Like, that's the real of it.
That's true.
It's not
sad.
They are killing real journalists.
Oh, yeah. Russia, John?
No, everywhere.
Oh.
They don't talk about that stuff. Real journalists are being killed everywhere.
Or kicked off their shows.
They just
ABC
Terry Cohen.
No, Moran for ABC.
Is it Terry though?
Yeah, Terry Moran. Yeah, they just kicked him off of something he tweeted about Stephen Miller, which he wasn't saying no crazy stuff at all. He was telling the truth about what he said, but that was real journalism. They don't.
You know what this feel like though? It kind of feel like everybody just saw Sinners. It feel like one day, they're just the sun is gonna come out and they're gonna go away. They're just gonna
burn.
Yeah, they're just gonna go away.
At
least I hope so.
Sinners.
Y'all don't think so? Look.
I
Look,
don't
you
know,
like
man.
no.
They
I don't
seem-
think it's gonna last this whole year though. I think once Trump is out of there, then it's done. I don't even think JD has enough. He doesn't have enough
following.
power.
He don't think he has a MAGA cult behind him.
No, they gonna ask him to move out the way, and he's gonna move out the way.
But so here's the thing.
Mm.
Marco Rubio, I think is what his name is.
Yeah.
He's
disgusting of an he has no backbone.
No, he doesn't have any backbone.
wimp.
So he's a wimp, but he's still talking. And that's the problem.
Saying what though?
Any and everything. Like it's literally what it appears is that Trump and everybody else who is supporting him in his cabinet, in the office, in Congress are grasping at straws. Trump right now has 7 impeachment articles against him.
Oh, that's not going nowhere.
No, it's not going anywhere because the Congress won't even push back on him breaking the law.
I mean, right? Even if the House of Reps flip in 26, they're not going to bring up articles of impeachment.
Mm-hmm.
If the Democrats retain the House, they're not going to do it because it's going to be a waste of time.
Which is the reason why, as much as it would be lovely for them to just fade away, I do not believe that.
Well, Trump is going to die of something. He's old. He's going to die of something. I feel like this year he is. It's going to be natural causes. It's going to be by the end of this year. It's going to be like natural causes or something.
You saw him fall off the steps. You seen that?
I think the symptoms are correct.
Did you see him fall off the stairs? Did you see that?
Yeah. Did fall
Fall down the stairs. Oh yeah.
Fall up no, not down.
He
fell up the stairs. Yeah, I did. I think that he's going to be ill. They're going to make sure of it. He's doing too much. All that little Twitter stuff, and that's too much.
No, I wholeheartely agree. The world should not know your moves based off of social media.
True.
He about to fire somebody. He just put it on. Like what? True social?
True social. I mean, he did that his first term. You know, he was firing generals and secretaries of cabinet.
It goes back to his persona with The Apprentice.
But it's
You're fired. You're like, bro, chill out. Like on some real stuff. Like if he was dealing with the wrong one, he probably would have got slapped. They would have just died, but he would have got slapped for real on national television. And be like, try that with somebody else. And then you never see that person again. But everybody's gonna know, oh, he touched me.
Remember that, right?
Yeah.
Touching you, man. Right. So
again, as much as we would appreciate really just some sense of sanity, some semblance of sanity,
we ain't finna get it.
It's not coming anytime soon.
There's no one coming to save us, people. There's no way. I just listen to the radio station. I listen to WNOB every morning, Michelle Bryant, every morning. And then she said it again this morning. There's no one coming to save us.
Trump has isolated us from our allies. He has isolated us from our help.
Y'all see all protesting going on, but if you don't, what they say, if you don't feed the people, they'll eat you.
Yeah.
So he'll figure it out. So it's too much protesting going on.
And black folks, don't take your butts downtown.
No protesting for black people.
Do not do it. Don't do it.
Let them have at it.
Let them have at that, man. I'm telling you, it's not going to be good. I'm telling you, it's not going to be good.
Nas wrote good.
They got 700 Marines coming into California right now.
Dude, the Army Reserve is on 51st and Silver Spring. You even got to go far. and their warning sign is you trespass, you will get shot. So I'm just like, it's a crazy time that we live in, like on some real stuff.
It's wild, man.
Because
look what y'all done did.
Yeah, no, seriously, look what y'all done did.
And you had the chance, and Republicans are so feckless. They had the chance to do away with this man during his first term when he was set up for impeachment. Because had he gotten impeached, and it went all the way through the Senate and passed,
he wouldn't have been able to run.
He would not have been able to run again. They would have disqualified him right there. We would have been done with
We got to remember how many corrupt people outside. So they don't want their stuff out, and they're doing what they can. Like, come on now.
And this is the reason
because they're getting they're having a re-election. So But compromising that.
But this is the reason why I said I don't think Trump is just going to go anywhere, because him, much like Epstein, much like Diddy, he has too much dirt on a lot of people.
Yep. That's why they're just gonna let him die.
That's why they
his Russian wife is just gonna watch him die.
You know that she ain't been nowhere.
Nowhere.
Like, nowhere. Been invisible.
She meant that.
Yeah, this time. Yeah, she ain't going for it this time.
Like, no. Which
you
is
have
the reason why I gave Michelle her nod. She was like, I'm not. They tried to. Would you run for president? Hell no.
Literally. Like,
hell no. I saw what y'all did to my husband.
Yeah, no.
And then
I don't blame her.
Even with that, they tried to make it seem like, they were going to get a divorce because him being president put such a stress on it. She said, I never said I was going to divorce my husband. She said I had to refine who I was outside of him.
And then nothing that said divorce.
Right, which is fair.
Yeah. Fair. Because you lose people don't realize you're in those positions, you lose yourself. You're not yourself anymore. You are basically
you belong to the people.
Right. And you're a king, you're a queen in that position. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't have a king or a queen, but that our presidency is equivalent to a monarchy. So you're not yourself any longer.
No, you're not. But you ain't even got to go that high up. Just husband and wife, you lose yourself in those titles.
Oh yeah.
Like no longer just Artemis, you no longer just Dorian. Like
nope. No.
You somebody's husband.
Yeah.
Somebody's your wife. Them is your kids. So now you got father. You also got father tied to that. Like you forget who you are as who you are. Right. Like just being you.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this dude then inflated his ego so much he has no idea who he really is. He knows who he wants to be,
or what he's trying to
portraying. But man, it's so far off the cuff from who he really is. Because honestly, every time I look at him, I just see a scared child.
I mean,
that's the reality. Every time I look at him, it's you're going to do what I said do, or else what? And that's literally what Iran is like. Or else what?
Yeah, South Africa. Yeah, it was like, okay, what? You going to impose a tariff? Okay, well, we'll impose some on y'all.
We'll give it back.
Okay, cool. Like, okay. Do you have any comments at all, Tay? Any questions? Nothing?
No.
I told folks to come on here. Y'all playing. See?
Oh no, this was the hot topic.
I really think the topic, when it's time to talk about real stuff,
bro,
our people can get a little shy.
You already know. When I was doing the Safe Spot for Black Men,
true,
it was 4 people talking.
True,
almost every single time.
True,
and I was one of them.
And I was the second one.
Exactly. So and even with Talk Trauma Tuesday, it was the same thing. Like when topics got hot and heavy, we don't talk. Mm-hmm. We retreat to the deepest, darkest parts of our heart. And that is where our pain lies, because you didn't hit the nail so far on the head. Now it's stuck in the wood and I ain't got a hammer to get it out.
I believe that wholeheartedly. And that was one of the things I was talking about with, mental, we can dive into this real quick with the mental health and the bros. Pastor Ken had a really powerful message. I wish more people would go back and just listen to what he said. And it spoke to me a lot. And like sometimes you just draw back into yourself, like you said, you just go into those deep, dark places. You draw within. It's man, that's true though.
It is
true thing.
Like
true thing, bro.
What I set out to do, which seems like an impossible mission at this point, is just really make us aware. Make us aware that it's 1, present, and 2, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it. It's present and it's okay. You deal with it 1 step at a time.
And that's what I tell my son. He's 15. I tell him that all the time. It's okay to have your emotions. It's okay to feel the way you feel. We're going to work at how to deal with those emotions. And don't be scared of them. It's part of being human.
Literally.
To have emotions.
Literally. Like that's it. I hate that we have been beat down so much, and I honestly do believe that a lot of this past election has to do with that programming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I heard Russ saying, ain't no one finna lead me.
Literally.
Like, man, what? And black men, and that's what I don't understand. Like, I came from a black woman. A black woman brought me into this world. A black woman made me who I am. A black woman made sure I had clothes on my back, food in my stomach. Made sure I needed what I needed to get out here in this world. A black woman got me into the positions that I've been in my career. It's always been a black woman, behind that.
You ready for this though?
And everything I've been into, yeah.
But did she teach you how to be a man?
No, she did not.
And that's all they care about.
My mom taught me of what her perspective of a man should be, but teaching me how to be a man, no.
That takes a man to lead,
Yeah,
which goes back to
the
original point. A woman can't lead me because a woman can't teach me how to be a man. It's very rudimentary.
I see that.
It's unfortunate, but it's very rudimentary. And until that's broken, because the reality is, and I say this all the time with like the structure of the household, with the man being the head, I said the neck is so important because your head ain't turning nowhere without a neck.
Right.
And it's also important because it protects everything, that all the signals that are going from the brain to the rest of the body, it covers all of that. And if the neck is damaged in any way, your brain can still function, but the rest of your body is dead.
True.
That's deep. Our next our podcast tonight at 8, Sweet 23 is fathers. So Black Fathers Matter.
Oh,
hey,
let's join that discussion.
Beautiful segue.
Well, that's not till 8 o'clock tonight.
That's not till 8. Okay.
Yeah, it's in an hour from now. Well, 50 minutes from now. So
okay, I think that's something we need to tune into. Hey.
I appreciate that.
Oh, so Regina, that's your mom, right?
That's my mom.
Yeah, she said it's most certainly interesting, not like having nothing like having knowledge of what's truly happening.
One comment, huh? See,
I
tell you,
Mama,
a black woman always
you.
Coming through. See, look at that. Mama, only one that commented tonight.
But on some real stuff, black women have supported black men secretly, openly, loudly, quietly, and continue to do so. That's why I hate the narrative that we against each other, man. Like we really wouldn't be where we are without each other.
Hey, so on Friday, that podcast, Pillow Talk, she's unpacking the movie Straw.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you should see it.
I highly recommend it.
I haven't seen it yet. I do want to see it myself because you go on Facebook and people.
Are you available? You should get on there.
Friday?
Yeah.
What time?
7.
I might be.
That would be cool to have a man's perspective on
it. For us to come here?
Yeah. It's here. It's Pillow Talk. It's at 7. That's the name of the podcast.
Would that be pillows?
They're actually right here, these lips. But go ahead and wrap y'all up so we get to it.
Got you.
Must see. Oh, your mom said must see.
Oh, Straw. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it man.
Huge. It had a lot going on. And it wasn't just against like, well, I ain't gonna go there because it's just like
I'm gonna tell you this. It wasn't your typical black woman struggle Tyler Perry movie.
Well, we can talk about it. Do your wrap up.
Okay. Well, we thank y'all for joining us this evening. Those of you that did join, if you didn't join, tell somebody. Like, share, comment, look on the page. There's some good stuff we're talking about tonight. And I just wanted to bring that up because this is just this horrible narrative that is just this versus thing between women and black men. It's just some kind of fictitious thing that's going around. And that's been, I would say, pumped up by the media and social media, what have you believe in. And that's just not the fact. And I believe that had a really big take on why we are looking at former Vice President Kamala Harris as we are now and not as the President Harris of this country because of those issues. So I hope that we can get past them. I hope we can understand what they are and see the truth of the matter is that Black woman is beautiful. Black women are marvelous. Black women are queens. I'm here because of a Black woman. And on that note, I end. Thank y'all.
Peace.